Right, here we go for this Monday afternoon VooTubers. I thought I'd bring you this. Dolly Wallaby. I bet none of you could sleep all weekend, could you? I bet you tossing and turning in bed, weren't you, worrying? Oh, what's going to happen to Good Morning this morning or tomorrow morning or whatever the blimmin' show's called? Oh, what's happening to Dolly Wallaby? We all need to know. Anyway, don't fret anymore, because for your delectation, I've brought her to us. Yes? Come on, Dolly. She's wearing white, which in marketing terms subconsciously is supposed to denote purity and innocence. Come on, Dolly. I fastened her up so we can get it over even quicker. Come on, dearie.
Firstly, are you
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, I
hope
was.
so.
Yes.
Feels very strange indeed sitting here without Phil. And
But I don't know why. Really strange, because after all, you refused to work with him, didn't you, dear? So that's why he had to get the sack. #/resigned. Whatever. Right little mover, isn't she? Come on, Dolly.
I imagine that you might have been feeling a lot like I have.
What?
Shaken, troubled.
What? Sorry? I thought she'd just spent a fortnight in the bleeding Algarve. She didn't look that shaken and troubled to me. Photos of her living it large in the Algarve at her multi-million-pound villa. Oh, she did look stressed out. She did, VooTubers. Come on, Dolly. Tell me.
Let down,
Yes.
worried for the well-being of people on all
Right.
sides of what's been going on, and full of questions.
I haven't given a flip, really. If anything, it's just been rather amusing, you know. But anyway, carry on.
You, me, and all of us this morning gave
Right.
our love and support to someone who was not telling the truth.
Oh.
Who acted in a way that they themselves felt that they had to resign from ITV and step down from a career that they loved.
But the thing is, Dolly, he wasn't telling the truth 3 years ago, was he, when he came out of his Narnia-sized closet? He still managed to sit next to him for 3 bleeding years, though. And you were like twins, you two, weren't you? Yes, you were. You were a family, weren't you? Yes. The Manson family. Yes. Here we go.
That is a lot to process.
Go on.
And it's equally hard to see the toll that it's taken on their own mental health.
Right.
I think what unites us...
Bullshit. Pause. Deep breath. Oh dear. Come on, doll.
All now is a desire to heal for the health and well-being of everyone.
Right.
I hope that as we start this new chapter, we get back to a place of warmth and magic that this show holds for...
Sorry? That trashy bleed morning programme holds warmth and magic? Really? Well, blow me. I never knew that, VooTubers. I just thought it was a load of old pat that nobody watched, but there you go. Carry on.
All of us, we can find strength in each other.
Right.
And from my heart, can I just say thank you for all of your kind messages, and thank you for being here this morning.
She got a heart.
Myself, Josie, Dermot, Alison, Craig, and every single person that works on the show will continue to work hard every single day to bring you the show that we love. So on that note, Josie.
She's going to work hard to bring us the show that we know and love. Move over, love. I could do that job. I'd do it. I'd do it for a couple of quid, I would. To be honest, that isn't working hard, my love. Turning up, getting your makeup done, having the industrial amount of money spent on your bleeding wardrobe, and sat there giggling and sort of interviewing people that have, I don't know, got married to their uncles or something weird, or got a dog that's cross-eyed and sneezes or something. Rubbish they have on there. Dolly, you're a British institution, aren't you, dearie? Yes, you are. Yes. She's an institution. Yes. It's like a mental institution.
I
don't want to see them two hug. Oh, I'll leave it there. Well, there you go. I think the whole diversion has paid its part in diverting us all away from the government and the fact that the lockdown has transpired, funnily enough and oddly enough, to have been a whole load of old nonsense. 1 year and a half's load of psyop, and the government's in an inquiry. They've all got to give their WhatsApp thingy. To be honest, I think that this, because it's not the first time that Pippi Longstocking has been used as a diversion to alter the narrative. The first one being was when he supposedly handed that piece of paper with people's names written on it to David Cameron, who had never been on the show before, but chose to appear just when they had all that hoo-ha about the elite child abuse scandal going around government, this, that, and the bleeding other. Don't know how many years ago it was, but apparently he handed him a bit of paper, and people could see this. People, they had Joe 90 eyes, they did. Yes, they had X-ray vision, a lot of these people. Because, of course, we all know that Philip didn't sit on the computer and get the names off it. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was security services. It's just a bleeding psyop. It was just a stunt to control the narrative and move it off in another direction, which it successfully did do. And what happened after that, it successfully played its part because it alighted on completely innocent people that then after sued whoever published the names for vast amounts of money, which, if you're following me long enough to know, that's one of my bête noires, isn't it? Yes, all the scandals and how they cover them up and control the narrative. I remember also that it was Bill Maloney, who's John Wedgesley's sidekick, where his handler, isn't he? Yes, yes. He's the Paul Schofield. He's the, what's his name? Pippi Schofield. He is, yes, to John Wedge's gopher, or he was, and he was always trying to get what's her name, Edwina Curry's name out there as an elite abuser. Interestingly, she's married to an ex, well, retired, is it a superintendent on the elite police protection, and it was very much tied up with the police. All of this so-called scandal, because let's face it, police knew about Jimmy Savile for years. We all know that. And they know about a lot of stuff, and just like they can escalate something and prosecute people, they can also de-escalate and cover up. When it chose them, because Cameron came in, I think with that other retard, I can't think what his name is. What was his name? I can't remember. Meg, I don't know. And he had a agenda to tighten up or to control the police union. I think I've said before, the police union in Britain and the teachers' union are the two unions with any power. And I mean, the others are trying to get some power back by keep striking all the time, but they've never historically had the power, the continuing power that the teachers' union and the police union have had. So that was a lot of what this so-called scandal was about, why John Wedge was standing outside Parliament giving it all the lemon. So as I say, where was I? I'm rambling now. Back then, they used Schofield, probably because they knew a lot about him, from what I can gather. There's a whole lot more that's not being said, FoodTube. They've drawn a line nicely and neatly under this last publicity stunt, and he's probably agreed to fall on his sword because they've probably had the dirt on him over much far worse stuff. This is all my thoughts and opinions, and I think I'm entitled to the VooTubers. And I think this was just this here whole Manson family load of old nonsense is just another facet of that, because they don't care about the viewers. They never have done. All they care about is themselves, their marketing, their advertising, and their salaries. And they won't have it that there was any hoity-toity sort of nastiness and arrogance going on behind the scenes. So first thing that abuser does is dismiss the victim. So, I think they're just all snakes in the grass, aren't they, really? And as I say, I think it worked very handily as a diversion from Boris, as a diversion from Wishy-Washy, who's been over in the globalist World Economic Forum giving it all the lemon, signing us up to all sorts of World Health Organization diktats. Yeah, basically, he doesn't run us, they run us. He just pretends to. And yeah, and of course, there's the thing that's buzzing around in the papers at the moment is Westminster, where there's so many sitting MPs, people in the echelons of Westminster, that are up on charges for being sex pests. No one's saying that they were underage people. They were all people of age, but they're just sex pests. I think somebody was saying they've got so many restaurants and bars in there for them that are free, that, they get off their heads and start being inappropriate with staff and with each other. There's also that MP that woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning in a brothel with no knowledge of how he got there, VooTube. So if you're hearing that for the first time, look no further than Pippi Scrotum Bag and Dolly Wallaby. So there you go, VooTubers. Let's hope this load of old nonsense just stops, for Christ's sake. I know the way to make it stop, and I think Pippi Longstocking was listening to me last week, because I've heard that he's turned off his phone and he's gone off social media, which was my very considered advice to him, Vutu. So there we go. And if it's boring you, might I suggest the same? Because that's what I do. Bye-bye now. Never fear. Gertie is very near.